All right, I got us recording now.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Well,
Okay. Sheila said she's fixing to get on, and there's no video. Are you able to hear me good?
I'm trying to get off. I'm trying to get off my phone.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi guys, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Let me get this on.
I'm Melanie.
I'm so sorry.
Hi Melanie, nice to meet you face to face. Hi Heather, how are you?
Good.
Good.
So, well, I got this recording now. So, why don't we go ahead and open up with a prayer, and we'll let you take over. We froze up. We frozen up. Everybody there? Weird.
And a half now, and it's just been a real good fit, a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. It's helped my health quite a bit.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
There you are.
Sorry about that. My internet is crazy sometimes. It just will sometimes kick me off for some reason. I don't know why.
Bridget was asking where you're from.
Where I'm from Texas. Oh, but
Okay.
where we live is in Arizona.
Oh, okay. What part of Arizona do you live at?
We live in Kingman.
Okay.
It's like what, 2 or 3 hours away from Prescott.
You guys are wide open there. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. So
That's neat.
well, I was like I was saying before we got all interrupted with my stinking internet. I was saying we could go ahead and pray and let you take over, Bridget.
Okay, sounds good.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and thank you so very much for us being able to get all together and learn from Bridget. And thank you how you blessed her and helped us to learn things that we need to learn and give her the words she wants to say. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I wasn't able to hear your prayer at all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I would just have, I don't know, I can only see, I would have everybody mute themselves because there's a noise in the background. There we go. I think Melanie, I think there's something in your that was I can't hear anything when you were on. Now that you're muted, I can hear. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me thumbs up. Okay. Sorry, I was praying along with you, but I couldn't hear you. Anyway, thank you so much for starting the meeting out in a prayer. I love that. That's one thing I love about Plexus. And I love that we can come together as believers and, link arms with each other and do so much more. So I love that. Anyway, I wanted to start off. I know you're recording this, so I'm sure you'll share it with your teams. Hello, team. My name is Bridget Ryan. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and that feels so weird to say because I remember being on Zoom calls when I was a Silver thinking, I don't know, can I do that? And you know what? You can. If I can do it, anyone can. And so I'm just here to share what has helped me, and I pray that it helps you. So basically, I'm going to go into some foundational training, share a little bit of my story, share on how to recruit. I know, Melanie, you sent me some ideas of what to talk about. So I'm going to go through those, and then we'll open it up for some questions and answers. Is that okay? Okay, great. All right. So basically, foundational, we all know that you cannot move forward in this business if you don't believe in yourself that you can do it. And so how you do that is getting some personal development. You have to believe in the company, which I love the testimonies that we are doing. We have so much. This is such a fulfilling job that we get to do. We get to help people get their lives back, because without our health, we can't serve others. We can't be good moms to our children. We can't be good wives to our husbands. And so that's what I love, that we get to be a part of that. We get to help families with their health. And with health is better finances as well. You can't have great finances if you're not feeling good. People can't go out and work. And so I love that we are a part of a network marketing company that has products that are literally changing lives. So if you don't have belief in the products and you don't have belief in the company, it starts there. So, other things are going to come along or maybe look more enticing, but you know what? Plexus is where it's at. And another thing you have to have belief in is our compensation plan. Our compensation plan is unmatched in the industry. You guys, I would have never made it to diamond in a year without a compensation plan the way what we have structured. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But you also have to decide that this is for you. You've got to put your line in the sand. When I had 4 people on my team, I was 8.5 months pregnant. I didn't know anybody in Plexus. And I went to the convention as a silver ambassador. We did not have the money for me to go. We had just gotten a car accident, so my car was pretty much totaled in the shop. And I had to rent a car to drive to Arizona. And I didn't know anybody, so I brought my 13-year-old daughter with me at the time. And I went to convention, and I brought her because I thought, well, if it's awkward, at least I'll have her to talk to. My feet were swollen. But I knew that I had to go to see if this was a company I could stand behind. And you guys, I got there, and wow, I could not believe the one Plexus. We hear one Plexus, but the people in Plexus really are people that care about each other. They're people that we could get on a Zoom call and pray together. I just felt like I could link arms with these people. And then the executives are amazing. And so the whole company in itself, I decided to draw my line in the sand that day in June. I signed up April 1st of 2015, drew my line in the sand in June, returned the next convention as a diamond. So how did I do that? I decided that I was going to go for it. I got with my shareholders, which is my husband and children, and I said, look, I need your buy-in. I need to know that you're in this, and we're going to together do this as a team. I can't do it alone, and I had to let them know, what we're working for. This isn't mommy's business. This is our business. And so there were sacrifices to make that happen. In our family, it was God Family Plexus. We didn't do anything else besides, I didn't miss out on my kids' sports or things like that. But you know what? As a family, I couldn't be team mom anymore. I couldn't be everything to everybody and still run a business. And so we had to realize, okay, if we're going to make this happen and we're going to bring daddy home from working 60 hours a week, and we're going to be able to be debt free, and we're going to be able to get a motorhome and travel and see the things you guys are learning about, I need your help. And so we had that buy-in. We worked together. When I was on a Zoom call, my son would be watching the baby, or, I was gold. You guys, I want you to remember this. I was gold when I had my baby, and he's 17 months old. So I was homeschooling 6 kids. I had my 7th baby. I would be nursing him. I would be checking math. And I would set my power hours. And every power hour, my kids knew, you can't bug mommy because she's working. And it's amazing what you can get done in a power hour when your kids know that. And so I was usually nursing a baby and working my business. And so I want to talk to you about a power hour. Let's see. Okay, so consistency. There was not one day that I didn't work my Plexus business since that June of convention all the way into Diamond. I did not take a day off. I was consistent every day, even if it was 15 minutes a day. But I tell my team, if you can commit to 1 hour a day every day, you have to remember that, a lot of people say, well, I'm working my business and I'm just not getting anywhere. Well, this is what I ask my team. I say, how many new people a day are you reaching out to? If you're not reaching out to at least 5 new people a day, you're not going to promote in this company. That's just the truth. So I've recruited over 300 level ones. And the reason I've done that is because I've consistently reached out to 5 new people a day. And sometimes people go, well, Bridget, I don't have 5 new people a day. I've been working this business for a year. My warm market is all dry. I tell them there is 1 million people on the internet that do not know about Plexus. And you guys, they need these products and they need this opportunity. And it's our job as ambassadors is to get these products in the hands of people who need them. And so what I do is I work Facebook groups and I meet people in person and I get them on Facebook and I talk to them and I build a relationship, because first of all, we are in a relationship business. Okay. People want to know that they can trust you. They want you need to be warm with people. You need to be able to use your voice messenger and communicate with them in a way that they know that it's about them and not you. Another thing that has really helped my business that some of you have heard about is Instagram. I love Instagram. I believe you need to be hunted and not be the hunter. I do believe in reaching out to people, but this is how I gain followers, is I use hashtags. Don't underestimate the power of a hashtag. Okay, first of all, you need to be a storyteller. Facts tell, but stories sell. And so people want to hear your story, and you got to paint that picture wide. You may hear me, my market really is, being a mom and retiring my husband and the energy and my pregnancy and all of that. And so I weave that into stories. There's some people that wish that they could spend more time with their husband, or they wish they had more energy to be a yes mom and take their kids on field trips. So you write those stories and you get to the heart of people, because people don't want an infomercial. They don't want to see a bunch of bottles of probiotic and bags of Slim all over their feed. You know what? They don't even read it. They just go like this. And so if you're telling a story and you're speaking to them and you have relationships going on the back end through private messages, they're gonna pay attention. Basically, posting on your feed on Facebook is just showing them you're open for business. It's the personal messages and the personal relationships that you're having are going to build your business. So I'm working Facebook, but I'm also working Instagram, which is where 80% of my business has come from. So I'm using hashtags. I build my brand. A lot of people say, gosh, Bridget, your whole team is built up of large family homeschool moms. Well, why do you think that is? It's because I was using hashtags that attracted that type of audience. So what you want to do is you want to have attraction marketing, which is through hashtags, right? You're attracting people. Then you're going to give them content that they want. Do they necessarily want bags of probiotic and bags of Slim and graphics that are pink sparkly saying try Plexus? No, they don't want that. They came to you because they found you through a hashtag. So give them the content that they need. Can you guys make sure that everybody's muted? So anyway, you want to make sure that you're giving them the content that they need. So every time somebody follows me through a hashtag, I message them. Do I mention Plexus? No. I message them and just say, hey, I just want to thank you so much for following me. My name is Bridget Ryan. I'm a mom of 7. I homeschool. It is great to connect with you. Something simple and short, okay? Because and guess what? I add them to my friends list. And so I am going to be intentional about building a relationship with them. Now, some of you may say, I don't have time to meet all these people on Instagram. Well, either do I, but you know what I have? I have 15 minutes a day in a power hour to spend doing that, okay? The other time I'm reaching out to people and actually talking about Plexus. So in that power hour, you should be reaching out to 5 new people. You should be sending messages on Facebook and on Instagram. The followers, you'll be putting out a post and then maybe putting a thing in your team page or listening to, there's so many jewels and diamonds that have great YouTube videos. That's how I trained myself. Every day in my car, I was listening to someone talking about how to go silver or how to go gold, and the virtual upline, and anything I could get my hands on, John Maxwell books. I just continually set aside time every day to learn. Okay, because when you get to be a diamond, you have all these people looking at you going, help me, how do I do this? You have to be ready for that. You have to be a leader. So in that, you have to be growing as well. Okay, so real quick, I want to go back. Instagram, if you're not public, nobody can see you. So if you're a private Instagram account and you're using hashtags, nobody can even see them. So you've got to make it public. And you've got to, don't use pink drink or plexus or anything, because what does that attract? Plexus peeps, right? They're not going to sign up on your team and they're not going to buy from you. You want to be using hashtags that are trending. You want to be using hashtags that, the people you're trying to attract. You've got to build your own brand and be you. Don't be me. Don't be somebody else. Be you. There's so many people out there that want to follow you. So anyway, let me see what else I have here. Follow-ups is key. You guys, even I get the bloop, bloop, bloop. They've heard it, they ignore you, and that's normal. Most of my people have not signed on the first conversation. We've had about 5 or 6 or 7 conversations. That is normal. Let's see. Okay, if any of you, I don't know what she was silver last January, and we had these conversations all the time because I went emerald and she signed up 2 weeks after me. So I signed up 2 weeks later. Andrea signed up on my team. She was one of my first ambassadors, and she was silver for 10 months. And then she watched me keep climbing the ranks, and she goes, what am I doing wrong? And I'm teaching her everything I'm doing, right? I mean, she's my running partner. I go emerald and she's still silver. And she says, Bridget, I don't know what I'm doing. I have so much attrition. People are turning off. And I said, keep going. Put your blinders on. Keep going. And guess what, you guys? She's an emerald today. So she was silver last January and she's an emerald. Well, I said, just keep going until you find that person who joins you and wants to run with you. Her team is blowing up right now. They have so much momentum, and I'm so proud of her because guess what? She gets to share that story now with her team. So hang in there. You guys are building a foundation of your team. And I see so many quit right before the big stuff happens. So those that don't quit win. And I truly believe that. The way our compensation plan is set, we're basically 2 people away from making it to a diamond level. And I tell my team, look, if you're working at least 1 hour a day in Power Hour and doing what I say by contacting 5 new people a day, and don't tell me you're working your Plexus business if you're not reaching out to 5 new people a day and continually growing your Franks list, right? Continually adding onto your Franks list through hashtags and Instagram. My Instagram following is growing by at least 50 to 100 people a day. That's 50 to 100 people a day that I get to connect with. Okay? How many new people a day are you getting into your network? If it's 5 new people a day and 5 new followers, that's great. That's 5 new potentials you get to add to your Franks list, and 5 new people you get to reach out to about Plexus. But remember, you're planting seeds. It doesn't happen overnight. Building relationships, but if you're doing it every day, you're going to start seeing those seeds planted. You're going to see the fruit of that, I promise. So I know I'm all over the place with this Zoom. That's just kind of how I do Zooms. I just go, okay, Lord, what do you want me to say? And so anyway, let's see. Basically, that's it. I'm trying to think. You guys may have some questions about Instagram, or but that's how I got to diamond in a year. Is I worked it every day. I set my power hours and I was intentional about how I worked. And I want to let you know, I think that sip and sees and Zoom calls and all of that is great. I was too busy doing IPA that I didn't do my first sip and see until I was a Ruby ambassador. And I didn't do my first Zoom call until I was a Sapphire ambassador on my team, because I was so busy doing IPA, reaching out to people and following up. And I told my team, this is what we're doing. We are doing this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this, and that's it. If you're doing anything else, you're really not growing your business. And so we have to go back to the basics. We have to go back to, it's the simple duplication. You know, I think a lot of these people try to reinvent the wheel and overthink our business, but really our products are so amazing that if we could just get them in the hands of people and teach that simple duplication of reaching out and following up, adding them to our team page, you know, putting on your backup order, all of that, it's really the company and the product speak for themselves, and our comp plan speaks for itself. So, but this is where people are losing it. They're not reaching out, right? I mean, if your level ones come to you and they say, oh, I'm just not growing, ask them, how many new people have you reached out to today or this week? And I tell them, and then what I do, they say, well, I've reached out to 5 new people every day. And, you know, I say, okay, well, then we're going to do a role play. I say, I want you to leave me a voice message on what you say to people. And I make them leave me a voice message because I want to see, I want to help them. I want to troubleshoot. Maybe they're saying it wrong, you know, and so I do that. You know, I give my people homework. I'm not their boss, but if they really want this, I want to help them. And so, you know, I'll say, okay, I want you to give me 10 no's by the end of the day. And I'll tell them, if you're not growing your business, then I want to help you. So I want you to reach as many people as you can until you can screenshot me 10 no's. They're like, what? And guess what? They're like, Bridget, I got 10 no's, but I got 5 yeses. So, you know, that's really what it comes down to, is people working their business the right way. So I'm going to stop that for a minute. I could talk Plexus all day, but do any of you have questions for me? You can unmute yourself.
I have a question. So I like, I've watched a ton of your videos, and I love how you talk about branding yourself and and then reaching out to people. I've got 2 questions. One of them is, how do you keep track of because I've heard that you've done like 40 people a day reaching out. How do you keep track? Do you write it in a notebook?
Well, before I got on this Zoom call, my husband took the kids to the movies. So I was working a power hour, and I reached out to probably about 76 people, to be honest with you. Simple on Instagram that have followed me in the last couple of days and just sent them messages. So with something like that, I have it all in my Instagram.
Okay, because you can keep them.
Right. I just keep those, and I delete everything that's not business wise. But then I will go back and I will check in on this. I also got this, which I'm starting to implement into my DMO process. It's the DMO Success Guide. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool.
You put in on Facebook, put in Texas DMO Success Guide. I don't know exactly who. You can write her name down. It's Alyssa Bauer. Facebook. So in the back, I can kind of
You're breaking up a little bit, Bridget.
you guys hear me?
I can now.
Okay. Somebody sounds like a vacuum cleaner here. It might be me. Okay. Anyway, I um, oops.
I have one other question that I wanted to ask, and it's on helping your ambassadors find their voice. A lot of times, maybe I'll have a new ambassador, and they'll say, "I'm not like you, Heather," this, that, and the other, and I want them to find, you know how they can brand themselves. How do you help someone who's maybe not confident, maybe they're new to social media? How do you help them kind of find their voice?
Yes. Tell them to ask their friends or their family, what do people think of you? What are the top things they okay, you know, find out what they do and what they love, and you kind of go from there. So I mean, I have all sorts of people talking, I have people shy, and I hear that, Bridget, you have 7 kids, and you know, you do this and you do that. You will find something that you do and you love to start doing that with that, a picture of themselves, cleaning food and how to cook, toys, and yourself. If you're good at fashion, if you're good at makeup, gosh, endless. So I would just say, you know, kind of ask some questions, what they like, what are their hobbies, tell them to do their homework on, ask their husband and their kids, what do you think about when you think of me? And then go from there. I'm losing you guys. You're all frozen.
Are we there? We can see you.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you. I had a question. Can you hear me?
I can. You guys keep freezing. Am I okay? You can hear me okay?
Well,
You were frozen a second ago, but you're good now.
Okay, go ahead.
okay. My problem is with the Instagram and even Facebook. Well, I mean, I have lots of friends on Facebook, and you know, I have some followers on Instagram, and it's building because I had never done Instagram until like a few months ago this summer, and so I'm slowly really getting followers. And so, but I got up to like 112, and now I'm barely over 100. And I'm trying to tell a story. I basically share our homeschooling stuff. I share my kids, my family, and stuff. Even how our dog takes, you know, the probio. And people are really they'll like some of the things. They'll like what I do, but some things are just like really not really. And then when I'll reach out to them, I'll try to build a relationship and stuff, and try not and sometimes I'll mention plexus. I kind of fill them out, but then sometimes I won't get any responses, or people just don't follow me anymore, and I'm just like, well, what am I doing? You know. So.
Okay, well, a couple things is you can, you know, anytime somebody follows you, message them, but don't mention plexus.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like their pictures, show them that you're interested in them. And also, when my people aren't getting a lot of followers, I tell them if they get a like, just to message somebody and say, hey, I just want to thank you so much for liking my picture. Thank you for the encouragement. Something simple, just to kind of reach out to them. People love when you personally reach out to them. It's normal to be ignored. I get ignored a lot. I get told no a lot, but that's why I'm a diamond, because I'm a bigger loser than you. Basically, I've had more no's. I've been ignored so much, but you keep going. There is millions and millions of people out there. And so you have to keep going. If you're growing by just a couple new followers a day, that's okay. You've got to use maybe better hashtags. I don't know what you're using, but trending hashtags. How many hashtags are you using on, say, your dog picture? I would use like hashtag dogs of Instagram, or dogs. I love dogs. Whatever kind of dog you have, connect with people that have that dog, and hashtag those up, and you're going to see your followers grow. But if you're not hashtagging a bunch of things, people aren't going to find you. And then you also, you have to give that attraction marketing and the content, right? So when they come to your page, can they tell right away that you sell Plexus? Because if they can, you need to take that off. If your name is like Pink Plexus Lady, change it. I have a lot of people that are like, Plexi Mama, and I'm like, no. And when you go to their page, all you see is like graphics of pink. People don't want to follow an infomercial channel. They want to follow a reality show. They want to follow something that's going to entertain them. And you have to remember, the hard truth is life is busy. People are busy doing their own thing. Why would they stop and follow you? You have to give them something. I'm not saying you have to travel around the world. I'm just saying you have to give them something. Give them information, whether it be the probiotic information, whether it be information on dogs, whether it be information on how to make something. I have a friend, I don't know if you heard one of my best friends, Rossi in Salabaher, is the mom of 7 who is homeless and is going senior Ruby. And anyway, I don't know if you've ever listened to her testimony here, and I have one on YouTube. You can look it up, YouTube, Rossi, Plexus, and Bridget. It'll come up. But she has a great Instagram following. She was homeless and she made the best of it. And so she would hashtag things like homeless and happy, or adventures, and adventure is out there, and people would follow her and see this story of her homeless. And what she would do is she would show how she would make meals that were cheap for her family of 9. And then she would say, anybody want this recipe? I'm sending recipes out through email for free. Please PM me your email address. She had so many people saying, here's my email. So now she's got all these contacts, right? So she sends out email. She had no money to build her business, but she found ways to do it. And she found ways to give back without having anything. You know what I mean? And so find your niche. If you, something I'm working on right now is I'm trying to be engaging with people. I'm saying, what healthy snacks do you feed your kids? Or what do you do for Valentine's Day with your kids? Things like that. And also the stories on Instagram. I don't know, that's a new thing that they have out. You want to make sure you're doing stories. That's going to drive followers as well.
Yeah.
So
the call is actually fixing to be up in like 5 minutes. So do we have any more questions?
I don't have a question, but I really like the fact that you said something about you didn't do Zooms and you didn't do Sip and Seas, because I think honestly a lot of times we get too wrapped up in let's get together and let's work instead of working. And so, seriously, it's like, we need to plan something for next Sunday. We need to plan something for next Tuesday. So I really appreciate the fact that it's like, just do what you need to do. We don't need to like get together and, congregate and do all these things. So that was helpful.
You're welcome. And I do think we need to make Plexus fun, obviously, but I lived up the road away from my team. I had 7 kids, so I didn't have time for girls' night out or meeting. Yeah. So really, I didn't really have meetings with my team until I went Ruby. I was just really busy working my business. And so first things first, I always tell people, if anything, if you have a busy life or a full-time job or whatever, if you don't do anything, reach out to 5 new people. That is the biggest tip you can give your team that'll change the course of your business. And to make sure people put, real quick before we end, this is really how the attrition in my team is, make sure people have their backup orders on. And people are so afraid of these backup orders. We call them personal convenience orders, and we tell them, hey, let me know what date you set your personal convenience order, your backup order to, so that I can write it down on my calendar. I want to make sure that I check in with you for a couple days before it goes out. That way, if you need to change or cancel anything, I'm here to help you. Then that way, they're not so afraid to set it, because so many people aren't setting their backup orders on right now, and you have that attrition.
Okay, that was, thanks. Go.
Is that about it?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
We got 2 minutes, or barely.
Well, thank you very much, because
You're welcome.
I think a lot of us are following you, and and thank you, Melanie, for setting this up. This was amazing. But I think a lot of us are following you, and a lot of us are trying to do what we said. I can tell you that several of us on this call right now, we couldn't make it to Super Saturday because we live where the weather's horrible. And so we had our own Super Saturday, and we talked about you. But I think all the little bitty tiny things that you've said with Instagram, and don't tag Plexus people, that's a big deal. I mean, it's like,
right,
because that's exactly who you're going to pull in as Plexus people.
right.
So, and Melanie, thank you for contacting Bridget.
Well,
But if you can get to convention, really try to get to
Yeah.
convention. I would not be a diamond right now if I didn't go to that first convention. So I tell your team to get to convention, whatever they can.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you.
yeah,
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.
thank you so much, Bridget. I really
All right, Melanie, nice talking to you. I'll talk with you guys soon. Hope to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you all very much.
Bye, Jennifer.
Good times.